And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Thursday morning's flying weather graphic shows an area of marginal VFR here over the central interior and a band along the central eastern Beaufort Sea coastline, and then a bigger area of marginal VFR here over the northern Bering Sea, sliding down into the eastern Aleutians, into Bristol Bay here, and then also up western Cook Inlet. Marginal VFR, Prince William Sound, Kenai Peninsula, down along the east side of Kodiak Island, VFR, Adak and Atka, all the way out to about Shimia and Attu, and then some marginal VFR slipping on up into the southern southeast coast. For the afternoon, that holds about status quo down there. Actually, the marginal VFR creeping a little bit farther to the north of some IFR showing up off the coast of Prince of Wales Island. Marginal conditions cover the Gulf up into Prince William Sound, portions of Cook Inlet, and basically the southern part of the state, though, looking really good, including Kodiak Island, VFR. Marginal VFR here, holding in the central interior. And now IFR for the central and eastern Beaufort Sea coast. And not too bad out west here, a lot of VFR. And for the Bering Sea on Friday, still pretty good area of VFR, though we've got this band of marginal VFR there from the Bering Strait southward to Atka Island. And then Shimia might be marginal VFR, otherwise not too bad out here. And not too bad in the interior areas of marginal VFR, mostly west and north of the Alaska Range, and also for the North Slope and Arctic coast. Marginal VFR for the North Gulf coast here into the northern Panhandle. And then for the Friday afternoon map here, we got some IFR now lifting up here from this area, coming northward into Prince William Sound there about Cordova or so, in across Montague Island, maybe Resurrection Bay, but basically the southern Kenai Peninsula along the coast. Some of that could get into Kamishak Bay or Kachemak Bay, Kamishak Bay, marginal VFR, and pretty marginal now over the southeast interior, actually all the way up into the Tanana Valley to the west and north, VFR. And the Bering Sea, really good conditions here, just some marginal VFR areas of in the forecast there from St. Lawrence Island down across the Pribilofs into Adak and Atka. And for passes for the Brooks Range for the day on Thursday, Anaktuvik and Adigan. Optimistically going VFR for both passes there on either approach. Lake Clark and Merrill, better chance of seeing VFR for these passes here, rainy included. Windy, possible marginal VFR, especially on the northern entrance. And that same forecast good for Isabel, possible marginal VFR again, mainly north side here, better to the south. Montesta though VFR, Tanita VFR, Portage VFR, and Chilkoot and White VFR. Freezing levels here showing 2 to 6,000 feet here, right along the southeast coast there with the warmest air aloft right along the south coast, Prince of Wales Island area. And then out to the west, 4,000 feet here for the central western Aleutian areas. And moving on to the icing graphic, not a lot on here. About the only place of any possible icing would be here over the north central interior areas there from about Nenana northward there up toward the east central Brooks Range area there. Otherwise, nothing of any significance anywhere else across the entire forecast area. And from there, moving on to the jet stream. At this elevation, 9,000 feet, 33,000 feet, we've got a trough here from the interior all the way down to south of Kodiak Island. To the east of that trough axis, south to north flow here, 75 knots, taking a turn to the east-northeast at about 65 knots there across Nebezna. High pressure aloft over the southern panhandle, associated with that warm air aloft we saw in the freezing level graphic there. And a big high out here to the west, and coming down on the eastern side of that high, good northerly flow from the Chukchi Sea all the way down and across the eastern Aleutians up to 85 knots. And at 9,000 feet, again, north to south flow here over the eastern Bering Sea up to 55 knots there as it crosses the eastern Aleutians, and lighter there out toward the ridge axis. And pretty light wind flow here over the interior into the Gulf of Alaska, including the southeast coast. 3,000 feet here, light winds trying to pick up there, but not too strong off the coast of Prince of Wales Island. Weak low here just south-southeast of Resurrection Bay. Light winds with that right through the central interior. Arctic coast, North Slope looking at some easterlies up to 35 knots. And north to south winds here, 35 to as high as 45 knots. And turbulence-wise, with those gusty winds, look for considerable moderate turbulence here from about Unalaska Island right into the Alaska Peninsula here, Cape Newenham into the Southwest Hills, also southern Cook Inlet down into the Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay areas, and then also for the southeast coast, mostly the northern panhandle there, looking at considerable moderate mechanical turbulence with gusty northeast winds.